Well, look at farm chickens. Today we're going to be having a look at what is the best thing to use for a bathing pool for your ducks. Okay, so there are quite a few options you've got when it comes to getting water for your ducks. And we'll start with the most common and a bit of an old wives' tale, if you will. So our ducks are all right with just a bucket of water. So here we have a bucket of water. And yes, they are. Now, they've just hidden in there because the camera's shy. These are black East Indian ducks, so they're quite a small breed, bantam duck, similar in size to a cull duck. So a bucket of water is okay for a duck that size, but not really. These are in here. They've only got these small receptacles at the moment because we've run out and we're using the other larger one for the new ducklings. So I'm just waiting to get another one, then they'll have a larger one. Yeah, they're not going to show themselves. So yeah, you can use a bucket. We've got a cat litter tray as well. Cat litter trays work really, really well for ducklings. They're handy because you can just tip them out, clean them, fill them back up. But it doesn't give the duck a lot of enrichment or joy, particularly. The bigger blue bucket there, it's a sheep feeding bucket actually, that's quite deep for the size of the duck, so they can get right under. What's important, the most important thing you have to remember, the duck needs water. It has to be able to spin this around. It has to be able to cover its head, so it has to be able to go under the water and dunk. That's how they clean themselves. It's how they clean out their noses. They suck it in, they spray it out. It's how they feed as well. They like to put their food in the water. Everything a duck does revolves around the water. So when you're choosing your water source, really it is as important as the house. So you need to look at the size of the duck, how many of those ducks you've got, and then the appropriate sized water. So a bucket of water like that for a couple of big ducks is just not, it's not on. Your duck is not going to be happy. So I'll show you this. Now this is a bottom of an IBC container. Now this isn't something most people are going to have. I'll show you. It's one of these, which you fill up with water and then drain it off to fill up the water feeders and things. So this is a cut down one because this was my genius idea, which didn't work because they've got a tap on it. So I thought, oh, that's great. Put it in there, fill it up. I can just do the tap, drain it out, nice and easy to clean. Problem is, it's too high. So, I mean, it's probably only 30 centimetres. Indian runner ducks, khaki Campbells, can't get in it. They can't get over it. So this is only good if your duck can fly, but then they've got to fly in and then they can't get out. Even if you have a duck that can fly, they can't. So this didn't work. So you got to think of the height. So we've took the plastic liner out and put it on the floor there. They can get in and out it now because it's lower, but it's all floppy now, which is why it's always empty, because they climb on it like that and it splashes all the water out. So an answer would be to dig it in, bury it. Then you've still got the tap, you can dig it out. So you've got it floor level and you've got a tap, you can drain it. We tried that. That was when it was in this pen. You can just see where we filled it in. That was also a disaster. And this is why I'm showing you this, because it's a good example for the sunken bathtub, which is something people used to do, or people still advise. I would just get an old bathtub, bury it in the garden. Yeah, I mean, it's great. It's nice and deep. This was clean this morning. The mud in there. All of these water that I'm going to show you were cleaned out this morning and filled up. Ducks fill water with mud at a speed you cannot even imagine. If you've got something completely buried in, this we thought would work because it had the tap, but it's still, you couldn't drain it properly because it was flat, not angled. If you've got something that you can't drain out, you've got to dig it out, and you're going to be doing it once a week. So if you've got a buried bathtub or even a buried pond liner, within a week, that's filled with mud, and you've now got to get in that and dig it out. It's the right nuisance. You will get bored with that very, very quickly, believe me. So another really good option is children's plastic Sandpix. I'll show you that one. These ones here, get these in any toy shop, about 20 quid. Again, you see, this was fresh water this morning. They dig around it, they fill it full of mud, they eat all the bugs. So you imagine if this was sunk, look at all this mud in there. You've now got to dig all that out. So these are good because you can fill them up, they're a nice size, ducks can get in and out of that easily, and you can just tip them out. Problem is, they're flimsy and they go brittle in the winter. So you can see around here, it's not sharp, so they're not going to cut themselves, but all of this, it's all cracked, broken, it's no good. So it's still all right, I mean it's still working, but it's not going to last much longer because they crash into it, and they're not built to last. And for 20 quid a time, it's not a good investment of money. What we have found absolutely perfect is these. I won't show you this one because she is so loud you won't be able to hear me. Right, so these are indoor rabbit hutches. So you can get these brand new from a pet shop for about 50 quid, and they come with like a cage on top and the water bottle and all that, and you keep your rabbit in it. So you buy them, chuck the cage away, because you shouldn't be keeping a rabbit in something that small anyway, but that's another argument. And they are perfect duck pools. And what's even better, if you don't want to spend the 50 quid on the cage, if you have a look on eBay or Facebook Marketplace or boot sales jumbles, people are always selling these because they buy it for the rabbit and then very quickly realise this is far too small for my rabbit, and they sell it. And you can pick them up for sort of 10-20 quid. And they are really strong, really robust. We've not had a single one of these break. You can fill them up, you can tip them out quite easily. Look at all that mud. Stayed of them. They love mud. Oh, where's your mate? Is she still on her nest? Sorry, we've got one nest there. And we've got a nesting. I'm going off topic, but it's interesting. Can't even see her because they're hiding her. So we've got a brown Indian runner duck hiding right at the back. There she is. Sat on a clutch of eggs there. Anyway, back to the pools. So these come in all different sort of sizes. So they've got a big one there because there's 4 of them, and they've got Duckzilla, who is massive. These guys, the khaki Campbells, have got a slightly smaller one. We've got another massive one which the ducklings are using. So they got a smaller one, and then these two, the 2 Swedish, they've got a smaller one as well, and that's fine for the 2 of them. And what's great is if you do buy them with the cage on top, and you're just doing this once and you've got some ducklings, you can use it with the cage on top for your ducklings with a heat lamp, and then when they grow out of it, take the cage away, you've got the pool. So they are really versatile and really good. The only thing with adult ducks, fine. The only thing with the ducklings is they struggle to get out of them. And they struggle to get in because, again, you've got the high sides. So if a duckling's struggling to get in a pool of whatever description it is, doesn't have to be this one, but anything you do, if a duckling can't get in, it also can't get out. So to allow it to get in, ducks don't cope well with ramps. I don't know, their brains don't seem to work well with ramps. They can't work them out. So you put bricks, build up bricks. So you have 2 bricks near it, then 1 brick, and then none. So little steps for them. But whatever you do on the outside, you have to do on the inside. So if you had a couple of layers of bricks there, a couple of bricks there to allow them to get in, you need to do that again on the inside to allow them to get out. Sounds obvious, but a lot of people forget that, and then the ducklings get in, can't get out, and ducks can drown and do drown. So that is very important. So yeah, I think anything this sort of size, this sort of depth, you got to think what is good for the duck, what size do you need for the duck, but also think of yourself. You have to be able to clean it easily. So do not bury anything into your garden. It will look lovely, it will look great until you put the duck in it, and then it's covered in mud, full of mud, and you can't empty the bloody thing. So do not bury it, always have it freestanding, and if your duck is small, just build up some bricks or something like that around it to allow them to get in or out. If you can get your duck to use a ramp, all the better, but I haven't got the time to sit here for weeks training a duck how to walk up a ramp. So I hope that's been helpful. Any questions or anything, put them in the comments below. Please press that like and subscribe if you've not already. It really does help us. We're doing quite well on the channel now. We do try to respond to any questions and things people have, and we're starting a new website as well, which is all going to be about advice, guides and help for people in poultry keeping, and that'll be what the cluck. But we're doing an announcement on that when it's actually like fully live. So thanks everyone for the support so far, and hit that subscribe button. We've been Court Farm Chickens. We'll see you on the next one.